Ever wonder why some people seem to secretly resent you, even when you're just being your best self? Stoicism, with its focus on inner peace, virtue, and emotional control, can offer surprising insights. By mastering your emotions and detaching from societal approval, you might unintentionally stir discomfort in others. This article dives into why embracing Stoic principles can lead to unspoken tension in your social life, without you even knowing it. We'll explore how your emotional control, detachment from validation, refusal to gossip, and pursuit of excellence might trigger hidden resentment, even in the most seemingly harmonious relationships. 1. Your detachment from external validation. Building on the Stoic principle of controlling only what we can, our own thoughts, actions, and reactions, it's clear that detaching from external validation is not just a choice, but a necessity for inner peace. But here's the catch. While this mindset fosters emotional freedom and self-reliance, it can also leave you exposed to hidden resentment from others. Imagine this. You've learned to live by the Stoic principle that your worth doesn't depend on others' approval. You no longer need constant praise or recognition to feel validated. You pursue your goals, act according to your principles, and embrace life's challenges without waiting for a pat on the back. On the surface, this seems like the perfect way to live, a model of self-sufficiency and emotional strength. But, as you may have noticed, not everyone appreciates this. In fact, your emotional independence can inadvertently make others feel uncomfortable or even resentful. Here's why. In a world where social media likes, compliments, and external recognition are often seen as measures of success, your disinterest in these things can be perceived as aloofness or arrogance. It's as though you've opted out of the game that many people feel they need to play. For those who are heavily reliant on external validation, this can feel like a rejection, like you're silently judging their need for attention or approval. Consider a workplace scenario. You're the type who quietly does your job well without seeking recognition. You don't participate in the who got promoted gossip or seek out applause for your achievements. You focus on mastering your craft, but to your coworkers, this behavior can be confusing. Why don't you care about getting noticed? Why don't you participate in the look at me culture that most people thrive on? This indifference to validation, though rooted in a desire for inner peace, can lead others to feel slighted or resentful. They might wonder, why does this person get to exist without needing praise? It subtly challenges their worldview, one that believes that external recognition is essential for self-worth. The same dynamics can unfold in friendships and personal relationships. People who rely on compliments and external validation for their self-esteem might feel uneasy when you don't engage in the same behaviors. They may even secretly feel judged, as though you're silently highlighting their dependence on others' opinions. The truth is, this emotional detachment doesn't come from a place of superiority but from the Stoic belief that true worth is self-generated, not dependent on others. Ironically, by rejecting external validation, you may trigger jealousy, insecurity, and resentment. People often dislike what they don't understand, and your indifference to approval may seem alien or out of reach to those who live for it. But this isn't an invitation to change your ways or feel guilty for your emotional freedom. Instead, it's a reminder that while your pursuit of inner peace and self-sufficiency may lead to a life of less drama and fewer dependencies, it can also put you at odds with others who are still caught in the cycle of seeking validation. Embrace this as part of the journey to living authentically. And remember, the Stoic path is one of quiet strength, not social acceptance. 2. Your reluctance to engage in gossip or small talk. Building on the idea of detaching from external validation, let's dive into another Stoic principle that can unintentionally stir hidden resentment: your reluctance to engage in gossip or shallow conversation. While your ability to rise above the constant need for praise and recognition might alienate some, your refusal to get sucked into the drama of small talk and gossip can have an even greater social impact. Picture this. You're at a social gathering, whether it's with colleagues, family, or friends, and the conversation quickly shifts to the latest office drama or juicy gossip. People start talking about others behind their backs, sharing their opinions on who's dating who got promoted, or who made a mistake at work. Yet, you, unwilling to participate in this cycle of empty chatter, Stay silent or politely change the subject. Now, on the surface, this might seem like a small act of self-control. After all, Stoics teach that we should focus on meaningful conversations and avoid wasting time on things that don't enrich our lives. You want to steer clear of the negativity that often comes with gossip, preferring to invest your energy in more productive discussions. But here's where the tension arises. In a world where gossip is not only accepted but expected, your decision to remain above it can inadvertently make others feel uncomfortable, even resentful. Gossiping is a social bonding tool for many people. It's a way to fit in, gain attention, or feel connected to others. When you don't engage in this practice, it can be perceived as judgment. People may wonder, why doesn't she care about us? Why isn't he interested in what's happening in our lives? Your refusal to partake in this ritual might come across as arrogance or a subtle form of superiority, even though your intentions are rooted in a desire to live virtuously and avoid negativity. In the workplace, this dynamic can be even more pronounced. Imagine you're part of a team where everyone regularly gossips about their colleagues. They discuss who's slacking off, who's trying to take credit for someone else's work, or who is climbing the corporate ladder. When you remain silent, focusing on your own tasks and refusing to engage, it might make others feel like you're judging them or that you're somehow above the daily office politics. You've removed yourself from the groupthink, and for some, that can be uncomfortable or threatening. Your decision to avoid gossip doesn't just stop there, it extends to the way you view people in general. You see the Stoic value in focusing on what's truly important: character, integrity, and personal growth. For many, this mindset can feel like an unspoken critique of their own behaviors. They might feel that you see their need for drama or attention as a flaw, even though that's not your intention. What's crucial to remember here is that while you may see gossip as a toxic, time-wasting activity, others view it as an essential social tool. And by rejecting it, you might unintentionally highlight the difference between their habitual behaviors and your conscious choice for deeper, more meaningful conversations. This discrepancy can breed feelings of insecurity or resentment in those who rely on gossip to bond and feel seen. In the end, your reluctance to engage in gossip isn't a flaw. It's a reflection of your commitment to living with virtue, integrity, and mindfulness. But it can serve as a silent reminder to others of what they might be missing out on. Embrace your choice to avoid shallow conversations, but be aware that it may not always be met with understanding, even if your intentions are pure. 3. You don't conform to societal expectations. Following up on the idea of refusing to engage in gossip or meaningless conversations, another Stoic principle that can inadvertently create social friction is your refusal to conform to societal expectations. While you're busy living a life that aligns with your values, you might find that others are uncomfortable with your disregard for societal norms, whether it's about career paths, appearance, or social roles. In a world that thrives on conformity, your choice to walk to the beat of your own drum can make people secretly resent you. Here's where things get interesting. While many people feel the pressure to conform to the rules of society, whether it's dressing a certain way, achieving specific career milestones, or adhering to a set of social expectations, your detachment from these norms can make you stand out in ways that others don't always appreciate. For you, the Stoic focus is on living according to virtue and reason, not on meeting the arbitrary standards set by society. But to others, this can look like rebellion or even a form of elitism. Take, for example, the way you dress. You're not interested in following the latest fashion trends or keeping up with what's in. Instead, you wear what's comfortable, practical, and true to your personal style. While this might feel liberating and authentic to you, it could trigger envy in others who feel pressured to conform to social expectations of appearance. People who are invested in the idea that looking a certain way equals success may secretly resent your indifference to this aspect of life. Similarly, consider your career choices. Maybe you've chosen a less traditional path, prioritizing personal fulfillment or flexibility over climbing the corporate ladder or achieving a certain level of status. You might not care for the prestige that comes with titles or outward markers of success. Yet, to those around you who are entrenched in the rat race, your contentment with an unconventional path might feel like an implicit judgment of their choices. Your lack of ambition in their eyes may trigger feelings of inadequacy, leading to resentment. This is especially true in social settings, where norms dictate certain behaviors. Whether it's about how much you share about your personal life, what type of relationship you're expected to have, or how much socializing is deemed appropriate, you follow a different rhythm. While others might look at these societal benchmarks and think of them as signs of success or social acceptance, you see them as distractions from true fulfillment. For some, this can come across as you silently rejecting their way of life, leaving them to feel misunderstood, judged, or left out. Now, it's important to recognize that your refusal to conform isn't about being better than others. It's a reflection of your deeper understanding that true fulfillment doesn't come from societal approval. But that very stance can be hard for others to process. When you opt out of the game of external validation, whether it's by defying traditional career expectations, opting for a minimalist lifestyle, or simply refusing to participate in the pressures of social conformity, it creates a tension. Your example forces others to confront their own fears and insecurities about the choices they've made. At the end of the day, your refusal to follow societal norms is a powerful expression of Stoic virtue. Yet, it often inadvertently highlights the gap between your life's purpose and the one that others feel pressured to live. This gap can breed resentment, even when your actions are not meant to criticize or diminish the choices of others. Instead, it simply reflects a different way of seeing and being in the world, a Stoic path that some may secretly envy, even if they don't understand it fully. 4. Your emotional control and composure. Continuing from the theme of rejecting societal norms and expectations, another Stoic trait that might stir resentment in others is your unwavering emotional control and composure. While many people react to life's ups and downs with visible emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, or excitement, you, rooted in Stoic philosophy, manage to maintain a calm, steady demeanor. This emotional mastery, although empowering for you, can unintentionally make those around you feel exposed, insecure, or even resentful. Here's the thing: emotions are often seen as signals of authenticity. In a world that values emotional expression, showing vulnerability is considered a sign of being real. However, your ability to stay calm, no matter the circumstance, challenges this notion. You've learned the Stoic art of emotional detachment, the understanding that you cannot control external events, only your responses to them. So when everyone around you is caught in a whirlwind of emotions, whether it's the stress of a project, the frustration of a personal conflict, or even the excitement of a success, you remain composed, unaffected by the chaos. On the surface, this seems like a strength, a sign of inner peace and resilience. But for others who are used to acting on their feelings, this steady calm can come across as unsettling. People who are emotionally reactive may see your composure as coldness, even though it's simply the result of practicing emotional self-regulation. You might appear detached or uninvested, and in some cases, even indifferent to what others are going through. Let's take a closer look. Imagine a tense meeting at work where people are arguing about how to handle a difficult situation. Some are raising their voices, others are visibly frustrated. Meanwhile, you stay calm, listening without reacting. While your behavior helps to de-escalate the situation, those who thrive on emotional drama or find comfort in their emotional reactions might interpret your calmness as a lack of empathy or understanding. To them, your refusal to react in the way they expect may feel like you're emotionally distant or even unfeeling. The same dynamic plays out in personal relationships. When emotions are running high, whether it's an argument with a friend or a family disagreement, your ability to stay grounded and rational can make others feel uncomfortable. They might interpret your calm demeanor as a form of judgment, as if you're silently evaluating them or their emotional responses. In their eyes, your emotional control becomes a mirror that reflects their own emotional volatility, highlighting a contrast that can make them feel insecure or even angry. And here's where things get tricky. While your emotional composure is an invaluable Stoic strength, it often forces others to confront their own emotional struggles. They might resent you, not because of what you do, but because of what you represent. A person who has learned to master their emotions while they remain at the mercy of theirs. Your emotional control, though empowering for you, may inadvertently cause others to feel inferior, as though their emotional reactions are somehow less valid. It's important to recognize that your calmness isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about cultivating an inner peace that allows you to navigate life's challenges without being swept away by emotional tides. But for those who haven't yet learned to master their emotions, your stoic composure might serve as a painful reminder of what they've yet to achieve. It's a quiet challenge to their emotional habits, and for some, it can be a source of hidden resentment. In the end, your emotional control is a reflection of your commitment to stoic ideals, resilience, wisdom, and tranquility. But like many stoic traits, it may leave some feeling unsettled or envious, especially when they haven't yet found the same emotional freedom. 5. Your focus on long-term goals rather than instant gratification, continuing from your mastery over emotions and your ability to stay calm under pressure. Another area where your stoic principles may unintentionally create tension is in your steadfast commitment to long-term goals over the allure of instant gratification. In a world driven by immediacy, where quick fixes and fleeting pleasures dominate, your ability to resist the temptation for short-term rewards can make others feel uncomfortable, even resentful. Picture this. While many people are busy chasing after the next shiny object, the new phone, a spontaneous trip, a quick career win, you're quietly building towards something bigger. You're investing in your future, whether that's through consistent work on your career, your health, or personal growth. You don't waste energy on fleeting distractions because you understand the stoic truth that true fulfillment comes from enduring growth, not temporary pleasure. Now, while this focus on the long game brings you a sense of purpose and satisfaction, it can also make others feel uneasy. The world around you is obsessed with instant rewards, binge-watching the latest series, indulging in fast food, or collecting social media likes. People often seek quick bursts of happiness to numb discomfort or avoid facing long-term challenges. You, however, choose to delay gratification in favor of something far more meaningful and lasting. Your choices, whether it's skipping out on a night of partying to focus on a project, forgoing a spontaneous vacation to save for the future, or working through the discomfort of self-discipline, may subtly highlight the difference between you and those around you. People who are constantly chasing short-term pleasures can feel threatened by your long-term focus, as it may serve as a reminder of their own lack of discipline or delayed goals. It might trigger a quiet jealousy, as they're left wondering, why can't I be like that? They might even feel judged by your ability to resist immediate temptations and stick to a plan. In social circles, this dynamic can become particularly evident. While others may bond over their shared love of momentary pleasures, like splurging on the latest trends or indulging in unhealthy habits, you quietly stand apart. Your choices may not be understood or appreciated by those who prefer the excitement of the here and now. To them, your commitment to long-term goals can seem boring, overly rigid, or even smug. They may feel that you're silently criticizing their need for instant gratification or that you're somehow more disciplined, more focused, or even better than they are. But here's the truth. Your long-term focus isn't about making anyone else feel inferior. It's about living according to the Stoic ideal of enduring hardship to achieve true growth and fulfillment. Stoicism teaches that it's not the fleeting pleasures of life that bring true happiness, but the steady progress towards virtue and wisdom. However, in a world obsessed with instant gratification, your resistance to it may make others question their own choices or feel insecure about their own lack of discipline. What's essential to remember is that your focus on long-term goals doesn't invalidate the choices of others. It simply highlights the different paths people choose. And while that path might make you feel fulfilled, it can also create a quiet, sometimes invisible tension with those who haven't yet embraced the value of delayed gratification. Your ability to look beyond the short term, to see the bigger picture, can unintentionally stir feelings of inadequacy in those who live for the moment. In the end, the Stoic path is one of enduring growth, resilience, and long-term vision. Though this may sometimes alienate you from those who prefer the quick fixes of modern life, remember that true fulfillment lies not in immediate rewards, but in the quiet satisfaction of knowing you are building something lasting. And that, in the end, is worth more than any temporary pleasure. 6. You challenge people's mediocre standards, building on the theme of focusing on long-term goals and rejecting instant gratification. Another reason people might secretly resent you is your unspoken challenge to their mediocre standards. While you are working towards personal growth, self-mastery, and higher achievement, many people around you remain comfortable in the status quo. Your constant drive for excellence can unintentionally put a spotlight on their own stagnation, sparking jealousy and insecurity. Here's the thing. In a world that often celebrates mediocrity and settles for good enough, you're constantly pushing the envelope. Whether it's in your career, personal development, or relationships, you don't settle for less than your best. You strive for excellence, not perfection, but a constant effort to improve, learn, and evolve. Your commitment to this standard, while admirable, may be perceived as a quiet challenge to others who aren't as driven or ambitious. For those who are content with their current position in life, your relentless pursuit of personal growth can feel like an unspoken judgment of their own complacency. Imagine a situation at work where everyone is content with the bare minimum. Deadlines are missed, quality is overlooked, and people do just enough to get by. But then, there's you, putting in the extra hours, refining your work, and setting goals that stretch beyond the basic expectations. While you're simply doing what you believe is right, others might see your commitment as a silent criticism of their own work ethic. Your efforts shine a light on what they're not doing, making them feel exposed and, in some cases, resentful. It's not that you're actively trying to outshine them. It's simply that your commitment to doing your best highlights the gap between their mediocrity and your pursuit of excellence. The same dynamic plays out in your personal life. Whether it's how you manage your health, your relationships, or your emotional well-being, you aim for growth and improvement. You invest in learning, you read, you reflect, and you apply Stoic principles to become a better version of yourself. But for some, this can be uncomfortable. It forces them to ask questions like, why am I not doing the same? Why am I stuck in this cycle of complacency? Your drive for self-mastery serves as an implicit challenge to their own habits and mindset, and this can stir feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. But here's the thing. Your pursuit of excellence is not about being better than others. It's about striving to be the best version of yourself. However, in a society that often praises mediocrity and quick fixes, your commitment to the process of improvement can make others feel like they're falling short, whether it's in their work, their habits, or their life choices. And that discomfort can breed resentment. In social circles, this might show up in subtle ways. When you encourage others to think bigger, to aim higher, or to work harder, you might unintentionally make them feel like they're not living up to their potential. While you're simply sharing your own journey of growth, some might interpret your enthusiasm as a silent critique of their lack of ambition. At the end of the day, your drive for excellence reflects a core Stoic belief that a virtuous life is one in constant improvement. But for those who aren't ready or willing to put in the effort, this relentless pursuit can feel like a mirror that reflects their own lack of action. Your commitment to higher standards can unintentionally highlight their resistance to change, leading to feelings of resentment or jealousy. So, while you continue your journey of self-improvement and excellence, remember that the challenge you present is not about diminishing others, but about inspiring growth. And though some may feel uncomfortable in the face of your ambition, you're living proof that the Stoic path is one of constant evolution, and that, ultimately, we are all capable of rising to higher standards. 7. Your relentless pursuit of personal excellence. Picking up from the previous point about challenging people's mediocre standards, there's another reason people may secretly resent you: your relentless pursuit of personal excellence. While your ambition to be the best version of yourself is admirable, it can also create an unspoken tension in your relationships with others. Your drive for continuous improvement might remind people of their own lack of progress or unwillingness to change, and this can evoke feelings of envy, discomfort, or even resentment. In a world that often celebrates settling for good enough or accepting mediocrity as the status quo, you stand out as someone who refuses to accept anything less than your very best. This is a trait deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, the idea that you are responsible for cultivating your own virtue, continually striving to be better, and never resting on your laurels. Whether it's through mastering your skills, developing emotional resilience, or honing your mental clarity, you are always seeking growth. But here's the catch. This level of dedication and self-discipline can unintentionally make others feel inadequate. Imagine being in a group where most people are simply coasting through life. They put in just enough effort to get by, avoid real challenges, and seldom push their limits. But then there's you, constantly raising the bar for yourself, setting higher goals, and refusing to take shortcuts. While your efforts are intended to bring you closer to living a virtuous and fulfilling life, others may interpret your pursuit of excellence as a subtle indictment of their own choices. They might feel like they're not doing enough, or wonder why they aren't as driven as you. Instead of being inspired, they may experience envy or resentment because your ambition holds up a mirror to their own complacency. This dynamic can also play out in personal relationships. Whether it's fitness, mental clarity, or spiritual growth, you are constantly working on yourself. And while this is empowering for you, it may unintentionally put pressure on others to match your level of commitment. When you talk about the books you're reading, the meditation practice you've mastered, or the goals you've achieved, some might feel judged or overwhelmed. They might feel like they're falling short or that they're not living up to the same standards. This can be especially true if those around you are stuck in cycles of procrastination or avoidance, unable to take the necessary steps toward their own growth. Even in friendships or casual social circles, your pursuit of personal excellence can create discomfort. People who have become accustomed to a lifestyle of mediocrity may feel alienated by your relentless drive. They may resent the way your focus on improvement forces them to confront their own lack of ambition. Rather than seeing your journey as a source of motivation, they may interpret it as an indirect criticism, as if your success highlights their perceived failures. The truth is, your pursuit of excellence isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about living up to your own potential, about striving to reach the highest version of yourself, whether it's in your career, your personal development, or your relationships. But in a world that often values comfort and ease over hard work and discipline, your ambition can inadvertently make others feel insecure about their own lack of effort. At the end of the day, your Stoic approach to self-mastery is a quiet reminder that we are all capable of more discipline, more growth, more impact. But not everyone is ready to face that truth. Your relentless pursuit of excellence, while admirable, can force others to reckon with their own stagnation. This challenge can evoke hidden resentment, as it calls them to step out of their comfort zones and into the discomfort of self-improvement. So continue to strive for your best, knowing that your personal growth is your own journey, and that, in time, those who are meant to rise with you will find their way. In the meantime, remember that some may resent the effort, but that doesn't make your path any less worthy. You are living proof that the Stoic journey of personal excellence is one of the most fulfilling, albeit challenging, paths we can walk. Movie Camera, thank you for watching. Dizzy, if you found this video valuable and it sparked some new insights, don't forget to smash that like button, thumbs up. It really helps us out and lets us know we're on the right track. Fire, we'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences with Stoic philosophy. Speech Balloon, what has helped you master emotional control or overcome the desire for instant gratification? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're all about building a community where we can grow together. Handshake, and hey, if you want even more mindset-shifting content and powerful tips on how to live a Stoic life that truly works for you, be sure to subscribe and check out our other videos. Glowing Star, we've got so much more to share with you. Keep improving, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next one.